doing a little review of the B14 Bilstein coilovers, the SuperPro aluminum lower control arms with added camber and caster, and the Michelin all-season 4 tires. So all those things went on at the same time, and right off the bat I'm going to say I love it. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but it's probably perfectly suited for what I actually need. Now, I say that because, myself included, everybody always wants to think of their car as being more track oriented than it really is. So without sacrificing anything in my daily commute, which is about 28 miles each way, 5 days a week, I mean, that's what the car does for the most part. It's not seeing a whole lot of track time or time in the mountains. So while a more aggressive coilover with a heavier spring would have been cool, would have been good for track days, being, honest with myself and what the car is mostly used for, the B14s are great. I would have preferred, sorry, I've been in traffic my whole commute and just now had a chance to give her a little rip, so there's that for you guys. I would have preferred the B16s because my one gripe about the B14s is they could use just a little bit stiffer rebound, just for my personal preference. I'm sure it's just kind of splitting the difference in the adjustment range of the B16s, because that's the standout difference between the two, is just the rebound adjustment clickers. I think there's 10 settings. So having that adjustability to go just a little bit stiffer would have been ideal. But I asked FCP before making the purchase, and they said with the lifetime warranty, if when these are worn out, if I want to move to a B16, I just need to pay the difference. And the way the refund process works, I'll get the value of the B14s I originally purchased back. So I've got that to look forward to whenever the B14s wear out. I didn't get as much camber as I was anticipating with the SuperPro lower control arms, but just for the added, or I should say subtracted, wheel hop difference, they're worth their weight in gold. I'm sure you could do that cheaper with just polyurethane bushings, but I'll have to compare alignment sheets. You can definitely feel the added camber and caster. It's just not quite what I was expecting. And when I say about feel, I don't know if you can even tell I'm swerving a little bit. The return to center line and the initial turn in feels pretty noticeably different. The weight of the steering wheel is basically gone in the few degrees off center, so it feels like it returns to center on its own better, more predictably. And it's kind of weird at first when you initially drive the car how light the feeling of the steering wheel is. It's almost like you have taken away the feel of the steering, but as soon as you start to actually load up the car, your feeling's back. It's just that those couple degrees off center, feeling lighter is my biggest takeaway from that. And you guys who have added camber and caster can comment below if you've had same or different experiences with that. Tires, I mean, I was going from pretty bald, not bald, but 5 to 6/30 seconds Firestone, Firehawk Indy 500s. So not really an apples to apples comparison, since those tires were pretty well through their service life. But I don't feel like I'm missing out on any of the performance capabilities I had with those tires. Now with that said, with the car being kind of dual purpose, I wouldn't recommend tracking the car to any extent, not even autocross with all seasons, because they're just not going to last. So the other set of wheels, like I said in the last video, haven't decided if I'm going to keep those and do a color change on them or move into some RPF 1s or some new speed RSC 11s. So still up in the air, but there will be summer tires back on the car when summer comes back around. The leaves are already starting to change here. We're unseasonably cold. It's about, I mean, it's 82 degrees, but that's not normal for this time of year. 70s and 80s, we'd normally still be more like 80s, 90s. And of course, lots of rain with the hurricanes that have been coming through the Charlotte area, or what's left of hurricanes. So tires are great. The last all seasons I ran before these, which it's been a long time, were the Continental Extreme Contact DWS. That was prior to the 06 designation coming out, when they changed a few things about them. But from what I've read, the Continentals have kept that softer sidewall by comparison. So between the two tires, I would say if you enjoy the twisties, I'd stick with Michelin over them, even if they are a little bit more expensive. I haven't really cross-shopped them because I was dead set on buying Michelins this time around. But like I said, I'm happy with them, happy with the coilovers. If B16s were available, I would have bought them. To touch on the alignment specs, I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I averaged out about 1.2 degrees of camber. My subframe's not perfectly centered, so it's not at 1.2 per side, but if you add them together and average them out, it's 1.2. So I was expecting a little bit more than that. And when I did the installation, I used every bit of slop in the holes to my advantage to gain negative camber. So putting the strut mounts to the inside and the ball joints to the outside to gain as much free camber as possible. So not disappointed. I wasn't expecting to have huge, track hero camber just from control arms, but from an NVH standpoint, I mean, you hear a little bit, I'm sure, in this video of NVH from my BFI Stage 2 mounts, and a little bit of noise from my single mass flywheel twin disc clutch, but nothing over the top. I mean, if you hop in like a Toyota Corolla, it's going to sound the same NVH wise inside. So unless you're really particular about that kind of thing, I can't really see that as a negative. The performance gains way outweigh any negatives from NVH, in my opinion at least. I know everybody's a little bit different as far as tolerance for that goes. But yeah, it's good all around. I haven't got to get too wild with the car, basically just my daily commute with a few twisty back roads thrown in there. But comment below if you guys have any questions or anything else you're curious about with the setup. Shout out again to FCP Euro for their awesome lifetime warranty and offering up good quality OEM products. The only thing that I wasn't really sure about was the quality of the rear mounts that I got from them. After the initial installation, I did have just a little bit of noise, and I ended up putting my OEM mounts back on, and noise is gone. So am I 100% sure that was the root cause? No, but I definitely wasn't happy with the noise. And I'm gonna park here. But alright, that wraps it up for this video. I'm gonna go play carpenter and help a friend out with some house projects. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope I didn't ramble too much. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't. Let's hit 1,000. Everything you know about carpentry.
That's it right there.